All right, this is going to be a fun video to do as Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are supposed to be fighting on the same card. And the lawsuit that was filed by Devin Haney and Bill Haney against Ryan Garcia has been paused. I also heard Bill is looking to help people start YouTube channels. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Look, the subject that never dies is always fun to talk about. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia update. It appears as if the two are on a path to face each other once again. And as a result, Devin Haney and Bill Haney had to hit the brakes on this lawsuit this terrible lawsuit that they filed against Oscar De La Hoya. Now, before I get into the details, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation. Hit that subscribe button. Also, thank you to everybody that comes by and watches the channel. I'm going to have fun on this one because I think Bill Haney might be the biggest idiot on the planet. I'm sorry. I'm not going to mince words with Bill on this one. Bill Haney and Devin Haney are suing Ryan Garcia for battery, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. So it's been a while since I read it, but pretty much for battery, an unwanted touching in a boxing match, and claims and want money that's not due to him under the contract. So they sue him for Golden Boy and Ryan for a bunch of money, whatever it is, an amount of money that was undetermined, but as much as they could get. But the lawsuit was garbage. Absolute garbage, absolute garbage, absolute garbage, except for the fact that I got to see the contract, which made me think, wow, Bill didn't get any more money paid to him because Bill Haney and Devin Haney talked their way out of a lot of money by doing a certain deal in their contract. But now it appears as if they've at least come to some sense. And what we believed about that lawsuit was true, that it was being used as a way to coerce Golden Boy into doing what they wanted. Now, apparently, according to Bill Haney, the lawsuit is now paused, and there's fights that these guys are negotiating to make happen. They're supposed to. Now, this is something that I got from the Boxing Voice, and then other people shared it with me. I don't know if that was the original source for it or not, but shout out to those guys. If they're going to fight in May on the same card, that's a dangerous date because that's around the Canelo Alvarez dates, but they're looking to fight in May on the same card. Now, obviously, who would try to do that. That would be Turki Al-Sheikh, wasting the money of the public investment fund. And I don't understand for the life of me, put a pin in that. Why in the world, if you're willing to throw away all that money, why don't you just put it on for free? If he was putting on these fights for free and paying that money, I wouldn't have a problem, and I would believe in the money more easily. But since they are pushing to bring in revenue, I don't think he's just ridiculously overpaying people like they've said that he's been. But regardless, Ryan and that lawsuit got paused. These guys are going to put them on a card together. I've heard that Tiimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia were close to coming to terms, or they had basically come to terms. That was a rumor that was out on Twitter. So it could very well be that you have Tiimo Lopez fight Ryan Garcia, and then Devin Haney in a comeback fight against somebody that the winner of the Devin fight could fight the winner of the Ryan fight. If they were able to do that, hey man, I would definitely take my hat off to anybody that paid for that fight. If I had the money, I would definitely pay for that whole card, right? The problem though, when you just have individual people paying for whole cards and, not doing proper promotion, trying to put it over there in Saudi Arabia, because I don't think Turkey Al-Sheik's going to be able to is coming back to the U.S. I think the public information, the public investment fund that he relies upon for these purses and things, that's my understanding is that the uses of those funds have been restricted to projects that benefit and return money to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So I don't know. This fight very well may be over there in Saudi Arabia. If it's in Saudi Arabia, they better be paying large amounts of money over there in exchange for basically stifling your career in the United States. But anyway it goes, man, I'll take those fights. Now, who would I like to see? I would like to see Tiimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia at the head of that card. But there's another fight I would love to see. I don't know if it's possible to make, which is Devin Haney versus Alberto Puello for the WBC title. Because, that was a title that Devin Haney held. Devin Haney dropped it after he got whooped by Ryan. We don't know whether or not Tiimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia would be at a catch weight. I think it would be a catch weight. But if Devin could fight for the 140-pound title against Puello and beat Puello, I think that would put him in very, very good stead, and he would look very good going into the fight with Ryan Garcia. Because Alberto Puello, though he doesn't have the power that Ryan Garcia does, he does have like the size. He has the length of Ryan Garcia. He's probably a little bit bigger than Ryan Garcia and a very, very good boxer. So it could be an opportunity for Devin to get that belt back against a guy that an undefeated fighter that gave Gary Antoine Russell gave Gary Antoine Russell a whole lot of problems, man, in that fight. The reason that I don't think that fight will get made is probably because Devin, that's probably a too tough of a comeback for him against Puello. Yeah, I just don't know who he could come back against. That would be like a big thing. And it would be, somebody might say, hey, man, that's kind of unfair to make Ryan Garcia fight Tio and then Devin fight whoever on the undercard. But I don't necessarily think I wouldn't agree with that take, because Ryan's got to fight somebody anyway. And if we would definitely take that fight with Tiimo Lopez. So what's wrong with having Devin on an undercard? The problem is, though, that Devin probably wouldn't want to be on an undercard. He'd probably want to be the headliner on that card. And honestly, he couldn't. Not with Ryan there. I don't think he could make an argument with that with Ryan there, but he probably want to fight on a different date. But at the end of the day, if Turkey Al-Sheikh is the one that is going to put up all the money, then he's going to wind up being on the date and in the place that Turkey Al-Sheikh chooses. I'm telling you, man, that is a very, very, very dangerous path. Very dangerous path that people are walking on, man, with Turkey Al-Sheikh flat out losing this amount of money to make boxing matches. But the PBC has got a good, the only thing that saving boxing, in my opinion, is the PBC and the fact that the PBC makes tough competitions. The problem with the PBC, though, is that the length of time in between fights for fighters, which I think is related to the number of dates. That's one of like the arguments that have been made, that are actually made by guys like Rick Glazier, that I think has some validity to it. I think that it is because I think it's been more difficult for those guys to get dates. And they have so many fights in-house that it's just, man, it must be a ton of work just to try to get those fights together. So one or two cards a year, big major pay-per-view cards a year, but hopefully they'll get together and they can get back to the 12 that they said that they would be having. Anyway, I digress a good bit. I like Ryan Garcia and Tiimo Lopez fight. I hope that's the fight. But if those guys fight on the same card, cool. As far as the lawsuit, they're going to wind up dropping that. I've told you they're going to wind up dropping that. There's no way that they're going to try to do anything but try to run lawyers' fees up on Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, and maybe try to stick him with the lawyer costs and some money. So they're like, hold on, let's not do this for a second. Let's see if we can't work out something where we can all make a lot of money. And if they do that, then Bill Haney needs to know to make sure his son gets paid out of gross profit, not out of net profit like they did the last time. Because then as long as you know what the revenue is, you know how much money that they owe you. It's very easy to calculate when you're on the revenue side and not on the profit side. Because profit, you got to take out all the costs. And then you're going to be arguing back and forth about what reasonable costs are. When you could have just got something flat out of the revenue. After the fight makes a certain amount of money. You can put elevators or ladder. You can put like step up clauses in there too. Anyway, though, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.